scene a short time ago. This crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Atlanta Falcons. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Ready, black 25. Check, walk 54, walk 54. Walk QB, go.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in Week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
From the 38, Ryan. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Freeman. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They toss to Freeman. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
First down, Falcons.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Ready, black 25. Got. Hey, Tuesday.
Now on 2nd and 13, Ryan. And now he'll tuck it and run. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
Ready, blue 80. Black 25. Hey, 59, ready. Let him go.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Ryan. Emerson Griffin. That's now back-to-back sacks, and it brings up 4th down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Mike 42, Mike 42. Come on, D. Mike's 42, Mike's 42.
Now Cousins. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Greystone, travel. Check hot route.
Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
We're scoreless after 1. 2nd quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd and 6 coming up. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. On play action, Cousins. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. There he goes, right side. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Check, Mike 42. Mike 382, left 50. Push him back. 6-6, pull it high. Gun.
They go back to Abdullah on 1st. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to the ground. This time Cook. Cook with a 1st down and much more. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. From 17 yards out. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Bailey got the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Next to score, Vikings 7, Falcons 0.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. Uses the spin. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut, and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6. Let's go. Hey, one set. Check behind.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Taken in at the 22. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Now Cousins. And this is incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Cousins now. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
Play fake. Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
At their own 10-yard line.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full speed.
Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. The toss play left. There goes Devontae Freeman. And shutting him off. Now open field. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 27 yards there, a first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it, couldn't get it. And it's second down. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Ready, 280. 280. 58.
Get off the field. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Hey, Mike 7.
From the shotgun, Ryan. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Motion. Got Mike 42, Mike.
Leave it. Bring up 48. Give it a nut in the deck.
Switch.
They start the drive with Cook. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
On first and 10, Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
Jahan! 180!
Shift.
Two.
Patrick.
Wait, Jahan!
They'll run left with Abdullah. Gets through and now an opening. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Here's Cousins. Pressure brought in. Falcons get there for the sack. The sack coming from Adrian Claiborne off the edge. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 54. Mike 54.
Final play of the half. It's Ryan. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Gun. Here I come again. 42's the mark. 42's the mark. Let's go, defense.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And he's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Safety's creeping. Check 24. Check 24.
Check 50. Check 50.
They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 15 yards on the play, first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. From the gun, it's Ryan. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And now a pass dumped off to his running back. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. On first down, Ryan. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now Ryan. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
Hey, Charlie.
54. Not today, you are. Not today.
Operating from the gun, Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Ryan now 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. Here's Ryan. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a second down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Smith catches left side. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Smith trying to run for it. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons get a bit closer. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
And the play clock running very low, so Dan Quinn decides to call for a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one good for 33 and a first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Switch X3, 218, chopper. Hey, switch gears. He's coming. 300. We got double up.
A handoff to Abdullah. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
I'm coming for you, son.
Gun.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
Two.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Throwing is Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Cousins pass. Thrown to the sideline and incomplete.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Matt Ryan trying to lead the Falcons from behind. Last year in 16 starts, just one fourth-quarter comeback for the QB. Now it's Ryan. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Ryan toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 17. Ryan. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
55, come on, guys, 55. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. Check.
The Falcons will go for it. It's Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Stephen Weatherly. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. On 1st down, Abdullah. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, rake it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
They come out here in the eye. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. On the carry, it's Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. A toss to Cook. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here is Cook on 3rd and goal. And they're able to stop him short. On 3rd and 6, they'll only pick up 4.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Bailey's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready, blue 80. Back 25.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go, D.
Ready, set.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Got his man. That's the Pro Bowler Julio Jones. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Xavier Rhodes on the coverage.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again. Ryan. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
Incomplete. It's 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. The Falcons on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Minnesota, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.